It's all about safety measures. It's about common sense. It's about adult supervision. That's what it comes down to. On the interior of the house, without those alarms, if a mother answers a phone and the child's on the floor, or a mother goes upstairs to blow dry her hair and says the child will be fine for 3 minutes.
Right.
Do you know that most children that are found in the pool, drowned, were seen within the last 5 minutes in the house?
Wow. No, I did not know that.
It's
That's
in
scary.
The statistics.
That's
and
scary.
It's scary.
So what happens to someone that would, for the lack of a better term, ignore these rules?
Well, that's the purpose of the permit. It's the purpose of the swimming pool inspection, how it's built, the safety inspection. We check the pools for the grates that are on the drains.
Correct.
And the intakes, and we check the gates, we check the latches, we check the alarms. Another thing we check for is to make sure that there's nothing outside the perimeter of that fence that a child can climb. And we're talking about a permanent structure, such as an air conditioning unit, where a child can stand on that. Now he's got 1.5 feet to go.
You boost himself over the fence.
To get over. But if they ignore all these things, it's really, it's their own responsibility.
Right. So basically, inspectors don't drive around Mansfield and look for the blow-up pool in someone's backyard without a fence around it.
No comment.
No comment? Okay.
No.
Because you see them. I mean, you see them. They exist.
We don't go around and bang on people's doors and say, hey, you see that pool there? You need a permit. Drain the water out of it. However, there's probably some inspectors that would do that. However, we're asking you to be vigilant. We're asking you to comply with the code. Please ask questions. If you need a permit, you need a permit. We don't make the rules. The state makes the rules. We comply,
right,
and we inspect, and that's our job.
I think a lot of people don't realize how helpful their building inspection department can be. The building department in the town could be. I mean, a lot of people go down to the police station, have their child safety seats put in. I mean, and they look at that, and that's a helpful thing. And the police and are there to help you. And the same thing goes with your local inspectors, your building department. There's a wealth of information down there. And again, I'm a professional in the building trade, so I mean we deal with this all the time. But people who are not don't realize that the reference material and the advice and just all the available things that are down there. And you can always, the inspectors are really good, and whether it's an electrical question, a plumbing question, a building question, a mechanical question, and you go down there and you can advice is free.
What people need to understand is that it's a service that's provided to the members, to the residents in the community of Mansfield.
Right, and building permits are not expensive.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Come on down. Ask questions. We'd be more than happy, Nick Riccio and myself, be more than happy to answer any questions on the phone. And we get a lot of calls.
Right,
But I encourage more people to call and ask questions.
Oh, absolutely. Nick was a guest on this show a while back.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Nick is, I'll tell you, you know what, it's hard to find a guy in Mansfield that I respect more than I do Nick. I really do. And
it's hard to find a gentleman in Massachusetts that you can respect
Nick,
like Nick.
There's and it's not taken away from anybody else, but there's pretty much Nick, and then there's everybody else. And he's a good guy.
Absolutely.
And it's good that you work with him, and I'm sure he's helpful with you with his years of experience.
I think we make a good team.
Yeah.
I was a builder in this town for 25 years, and I've worked with the department on that side of the fence, that we call. And I learned a lot over the years from the inspectors, and we have to go for certification. We need continuing education that keeps us abreast of all the new codes, such as where I was the last 2 days, as I told you earlier.
We got a few minutes, so why don't we just discuss, that's got really not swimming pool issue, but we want to just give you an idea, some of the things that these inspectors are have to do and they want to do to be up on code. What have you been doing for the last 2 days?
The last 2 days we had a Southeast Mass Building Officials Seminar, which it's like a trade show.
Okay.
There's people talking about fasteners. They're talking about zoning laws, construction of anchorage of foundations, anchoring of roofs to houses, chimneys, venting of appliances. I mean, the list goes on. There's about 38 chapters.
Right, because
Just in the
technology is
building code
constantly
alone.
changing now.
Right.
Building material, and it's greater now than it's ever been, I think, since, you know, the dark ages.
The state requires the building inspectors to be certified, which is testing prior to becoming an inspector. There's one on the residential code, there's one on building code in general, there's one on fire and safety. And then the next level up, such as Nick Riccio, as the Inspector of Buildings and Zoning Officer, there's one on legal management, and there's one on zoning.
Right.
So,
And Nick's a practicing attorney, so he's got
Absolutely.
it all in there.
He's
And
got it all.
That's part of his job, basically. It makes him better at what he does.
right, and the zoning falls under the
Right, because, you know, you have a problem somewhere and everything, and it's, you know, the ultimate decision. I mean, the fire department comes and puts a fire out or handles the emergency situation along with the police and what paramedics, but ultimately it's the building inspector who makes the final say-so on the building.
We get a call when there's an emergency.
Yeah.
I was called out New Year's, 12:20 in the morning, New Year's Day.
I know where you went.
Car hit a house, ripped the gas meter off of it. So,
Yeah,
you know,
and
not
it's
to
up to you
mention
folks.
collapses the winter before with roofs. So,
Oh, yeah.
but the basic function of our jobs, the permits come in, they get reviewed. We check the contractor for license. We check them for home improvement registration. We check their insurance, their workman's comp, if they have people working for them. These are a lot of things that the homeowner is unaware of. And a contractor might come in and say, oh, you don't need a permit for that. And if something happens, they could end up supporting that contractor if he falls off a roof or whatever. So that's where it starts. Then we go out and we do a series of inspections. If it's for an addition or a house, right from the hole in the ground to the foundation and footings, to the framing, to the rough electrical before it's covered, to the rough mechanical, as you would know.
Yeah.
The plumbing all gets inspected before any insulation goes in,
And
before
then-
any wallboard goes
And then
up.
the insulation gets
And
inspected.
the insulation gets inspected. Then there's a final inspection for all of the above, including fire department review and fire department compliance with fire safety,
Yep.
carbon monoxide detectors, and then I'm the last show.
Yeah.
I go in there after
Sign it
all
off.
of them, and we sign it off, and it's verified by myself and Nick Riccio, and
Yeah. You can also
And
stop
that's-
work on a project if there's no permits, correct?
absolutely.
Yep.
And I've had the unfortunate pleasure of doing that, if that's such a term, but sometimes it has to be done,
Right.
and
You got to
things
play
are
by
not
the rules.
code compliant, and you have to post that stop work order until all the paperwork gets in order.
Very good.
So,
Well, as we wrap things up a little bit, let's get back to the swimming pools, and that's the reason you wanted to come on, and it's a good
Exactly.
reason. And again, the object was not to take away from your pool enjoyment, because that's what they're there for. They're there for your entertainment, your enjoyment, your pleasure, to cool you off on those hot days. And Lee just again he just wants to stress the safety measures and just know that there's there are resources available to read, and you can get them at the building department, and if you put a pool in, you should check with the building department to see what you need to do, and if a permit is needed, and inspections and everything, and they'll be happy to tell you. Now, how do they get a hold of you besides going to the town hall? Do they have a telephone number at the town hall for the building number?
They do have a telephone number.
the
I should
building
know it
department?
off the top of my head, 508-261-7360.
7360, and that gets you right into the building department.
Gets you right in there.
Connects all inspectors, correct?
And they will direct the call to whomever you would like to speak to.
Okay, any final words for pool safety?
Well, I'd just like to point out that if you go online, there are several documents pertaining to pool safety. The most important one that you have to remember is Appendix G for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which is in the 2009 IRC, and we have for you at the town hall.
Right.
So
We got Appendix G here, and we can get them, and we'll get you so you know how to get them.
there are others that have literature, and some of them are close, but some of them might say 2 1/4 inches when it's 1 3/4. Some haven't been updated, so you cannot go wrong with our code, our state code, and our Appendix G.
All right, excellent.
And again, anytime someone wants to call, I'd be more than happy to answer their questions.
And you folks come right out. It's not, you don't have to wait
Absolutely.
weeks or days or anything. You can,
That's right.
It's a
In most cases, it's within the same day or the next morning.
So that isn't bad. That's actually pretty good. That's part of the service the town provides. And,
Exactly.
You know, there are fees involved, but for a swimming pool, they're probably not all that
Actually, it's very reasonable. Above ground pools is a straight $40 rate.
bad. $40.
$40.
How do you beat that? Now you're legal for $40.
Now you're legal.
I mean, there's very little you can say in this state that you're legal for
And you
$40.
You get the safety inspection. An in-ground pool is $100.
Okay.
A little more involved, and it's more involved because when you have an in-ground pool, this is about a contractor, an excavator, they're digging holes, they're bonding rebar, or they're setting up the steel panel walls with the bracing. All that gets inspected prior to filling.
For your
You may have
safety, for the
heated-
homeowner's safety.
For the homeowner's safety.
Okay.
The electrical gets inspected for a grounding bond around all the rebar, so there's no shock hazard within a pool. Any lighting gets grounded. All that gets inspected.
For $100.
For $100, you're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 inspections on an in-ground pool. That's $25 an inspection.
That's not
You
bad.
can't get anything for $25 today. You
No,
can't get
that's
someone to
that's
come out
money
to your
well
house.
spent.
You can't get someone out to your house for less than $300.
Yeah, so money well spent. It
Well
keeps you
spent.
legal.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking time. I know you've been busy with your seminars and you're still doing the work in between everything.
Done a little bit.
Yeah.
A little
So,
bit. Doesn't leave much time.
I want to
for,
thank you for taking time to come
thanks
on.
again,
and
Dan, for
hopefully
having
you'll
me
come
on the
back.
show.
And we got other things we want to discuss sometime. We want to discuss some roofs and
I've got some very important information on roofing and re-roofing that homeowners should be aware of that pertain to ventilation, because it's not your grandfather's roof anymore, okay? It involves several things. Ventilation, is there insulation? Is there a vapor barrier? Has someone come in after the fact, blown in insulation and lost ventilation? So there's a whole other show.
right. So we're gonna
Pertaining to
we're gonna do that.
And we'll
on the
do
show.
that.
We'll do that on the show. We'll get
Probably
you in
be a
the
good one for fall, because
okay.
roofing slows down a little in the summer,
Right.
and is usually full tilt in the fall and
Yeah, and you don't
early
want to
spring.
fall off your roof, so that works out well.
That's right.
All right. So, anyways, Assistant Building Inspector Lee Day, we'll want to thank you for coming by. We expect to see you again. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of Lee at the Building Department, or you can stop down, give him a call, and you can stop down at the Town Hall, lower level, Building Department. They're down there. And see all the smiling faces down
There you
there,
go.
ready to help. Okay, so we're going to back on out of here for now. Again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend a little time in my kitchen. If you if you have any questions and want to be part of the show in any way, shape, or form, that's if you want to be a guest, have a question for a guest, recommend a guest, anything you want me to say happy birthday to someone, a shout out, I can do that. I have the ability. I can do this. The all-purpose ways to get a hold of us are at our email at mansfieldkitchensink@gmail.com. There it is, right there. Thanks again to our pal Jack O'Neill. Also, Facebook, facebook.com/MansfieldKitchenSink. Twitter, and it's at KitchenSinkTV, and talkmansfield.org. So that's all the contact information. I want to thank you all once again for having my kitchen in your living room. We'll catch you next time. I'm Dan Pascucci. Have a good night.
The love are hanging on me, push and shove. Possession is the motivation that is hanging up. The goddamn nation looks like they always end up in a rut. Everybody now trying to make it real compared to what